So hello and welcome to yet another episode of TopTenz. I'm your interim host, Karl Smallwood. Yes, that's my real name. You can look it up on social media at the links below if you don't believe me. And today we're going to be talking about 10 Quack wellness devices you can buy today if you have more money than sense. And this video is based on an original article by Ed Hatchett. If they provide us social links for us, they'll be alongside my own down below. Are you experiencing symptoms of imbalanced frequencies, low cellular voltage, psychic aberrations? Well, sit back and relax, because there's a wellness device just for you, even if you don't feel ill yet. And just as an aside, this entire video is sarcastic. Everything we're about to discuss is complete and utter horseshit. So just think everything I'm about to say is sarcastic unless otherwise stated. Okay, let's go. Number 10, Spooky 2. Did you know that all medical conditions have specific electromagnetic frequencies? If you did, you've probably heard of the Rife machine. Invented in the 1920s, it delivers pulses of electromagnetism to cure almost any disease. Unfortunately for the inventor, and possibly for the rest of the world, mainstream science was hostile. The earnest engineer, Royal Raymond Rife, died penniless and embittered, and in the years since, his already ruined legacy has been further sullied by snake oil salesmen and scandals. More recently, however, during the feeding frenzy of COVID-19, Rife has made a comeback in a pretty big way. Marketed on Facebook as the affordable Rife device for every home, Spooky 2 Scalar controversially promised to protect you and your family from this terrible virus. Supplied with a specific frequency for stopping COVID-19 as per Rife's theories, the device came with an additional assurance that, and I quote, scalar energy provides optimal energetic support for the immune system. The Federal Trade Commission disagreed and sent the company a warning, but don't let that slow you down. The basic kit only costs $1,600 and comes in a reassuringly rugged briefcase with a cutesy smiling ghost as its logo. That's what your kids will be if you use this instead of medicine. Number 9, the Electro Psychometer. Despite what Scientologists would have you believe, the e-meter wasn't invented by L. Ron Hubbard. The Electro Psychometer, as it was originally called, was invented by Volney Matheson, a chiropractor for use in psychotherapy and analysis. This is ironic given Hubbard's and later Scientology's avid disavowalment of psychotherapists as a profession, but he had another use in his mind: falsifying serious aberrations or criminality in a user with so-called discreditable reads. This is Scientology's on-ramp. The church's e-meters are assembled at Gold Base, California, a high-security compound under constant armed guard. Each unit usually costs about $4,000, but you can pick up non-affiliated electropsychometers or ex-Scientologist free-zone e-meters for less. eBay's your friend here. These are no more than crude lie detectors, polygraph lights, galvanometers with tin can electrodes, powered by leaky batteries. All they do is gauge your skin's electrical resistance. Hubbard, however, believed, or pretended, that the device could eliminate illness, for which the government sued him. Even the Church of Scientology itself admits that the devices don't do anything by themselves, but in the hands of an unscrupulous entrepreneur, remember, you can't help anyone until you get rich. Number 8, the Bioresonance Machine. Internal organs like playing up, don't delay. Scan them for imbalanced frequencies and perform a non-linear statistical analysis today. All of your organs, cells, and tissues emit electromagnetic waves. Did you not know that? You didn't learn that in school? What an idiot. And as you know, their frequency changes in response to different stressors. In fact, or whatever, each disease has its own signature resonance frequency. That's not true. So it's possible to scan for pretty much anything without an invasive procedure. Simply attach the electrodes. Developed and presumably abandoned by Russian scientists in the 1990s, this technology has been perfected by the technological wizards over at Oberon in Florida. Not only can the Bioresonance Machine scan your organs for diseases, but eliminate them in no time flat, all in the comfort of your own home. It's just a matter of altering your damaged cells' frequencies via headphones. There are no side effects, no chemicals, and no inconvenience, and it works best alongside good nutrition and other treatments. Yes, that's consistent with placebo, but don't be a sheep here. Another company making bioresonance devices, Rayonex Biomedical, actually has clinical proof of efficacy for cervical spine syndrome, which sounds bad, right? It's better known by its colloquial name of "my neck hurts," neck pain. Okay, so pain is easily treated by placebo or relaxing or taking an aspirin. And yes, the study was conducted by Rayonex themselves, and yes, they're reluctant to carry out more trials given there's no evidence, only anecdotal, and for the other conditions listed on their website. But did we mention that it's non-invasive? And just as an aside here, I'm just going to give a big shout. It's like the one device I think everyone should get, and it's this. This is just a foam roller. It's, I think, $9. You can get these things for. Mine cost me like £10, Amazon. Every morning, every night, if you've got stiff or pain in any sort of muscle area, it'll sort you right out. It's best purchase I made of the entire panel. You know what? It's going to stay right here. This gets the official Karl Smallwood seal of approval. A $9 foam roller. Number 7. Stimulations 7. Small cup size getting you down. Forget surgery. The Stimulation 7 vacuum device can permanently, non-invasively, expand your breast tissue. Just place the self-sealing dome over your bust and activate the pump for an enlargement of up to 4 cup sizes. It can even, according to them, regrow breasts that were surgically removed via mastectomy. That's fucked up. That's bad. Like, that's basically just like, it's just those penis pump things. It's like, if these things existed and was effective, they say you wouldn't need to advertise them in like shady like spam emails. People would pay for billboards for this stuff. Moving back to the Stimulation 7, like, chances are you won't be able to find one because in the early 2000s, one ungrateful customer took the Iowa-based manufacturer, New Women, and I should point out that's New Women, and women is spelled WOMYN. And I just don't trust a company that can't spell the word for its target demographic in its own logo and marketing materials. Anyway, they were taken to court for refusing to refund her $2,000. It turns out she hadn't accurately read the small print for the device, which stated that its 18-month guarantee didn't work the way other lesser 18-month guarantees work. Most guarantees of that nature, it's just if you want to return the thing within the stated time frame, you can do so, no questions asked. Just send it back to them, you'll get your money back, whatever. In the case of New Women's like breast enlarging machine, you had to use the device for 18 months before you'd be eligible for the refund. And in that time, you had to visit a doctor once a month who could provide proof that your breast hadn't increased in size, which is, you know, fair, I guess, but the lady kicked up enough of a stink, and the poor CEO, Dan Kaiser, was ordered to pay $90,000 as a civil penalty. Number 6, the biophonetic scanner. If you're the sort to wonder how many carotenoids you've got on your skin at any given time, this is the device for you. If you don't care, this device is also for you, because you should care. What's the matter with you? Carotenoids are antioxidants that give orange, red, and yellow plants their coloration. This includes beta-carotene, lutein, and lycopene, among others. And according to experts, they may be one reason why eating fruits and vegetables lowers your risk of disease. What the biophonetic scanner does is check that you've eaten enough, which I guess is useful for people suffering from anterograde amnesia, like in 50 First Dates, or you just don't know what's in your fridge and what you've eaten. Critics say it only measures carotenoids in the skin and it isn't a reliable measure of your overall antioxidant status, but their only basis for saying so is the total lack of scientific evidence, which means that argument falls down as well. If there's even a remote chance the biophonetic scanner can measure your antioxidant health, can you really afford not to buy one? Just think of all the money you could save at the greengrocer knowing when to stop buying vegetables. Plus, if your scan shows suboptimal carotenoid level, the same company that sold you your scanner will sell you an antioxidant supplement they make. Can't beat that for convenience. Number 5, the Biocharger. Sometimes we all need a little more subtle energy. Invented by Jim Gerard, the Biocharger delivers pulsed harmonics to frequency of your choice to weakly vibrating cells, re-energizing and revitalizing your natural magnetic energy, aligning your mind and body and raising your cellular voltage. Sure, you can do the same thing by walking around barefoot, releasing negative emotions, listening to pure sounds, and drinking alkaline water, but this, we should point out, is a lot more expensive. According to the shut-ins at Biocharger, over 90% of our day is spent indoors, blocked from nature's vital energies. Which, now, just a quick side here, that is true. Vitamin D, for example, is something not a lot of people get enough of, but you can get your daily requisite amount of vitamin D by walking around outside in overcast weather, wearing a t-shirt for about 15 minutes. It's why seasonal affective disorder sometimes affects people, also known as SAD disease. Just you're not getting enough vitamin D in the winter months because there's just not enough sun, you're not side enough to deal with it. Or just buy this piece of shit. So at $15,000, you'll have to stay in to afford one, but don't worry about the science, there are loads of testimonials. There's also a 45-day guarantee, so there's really nothing to lose besides the non-refundable $250 shipping fee that's mentioned in the small print. But with its plasma gas spectrum tubes and menacing red glow, the Biocharger certainly looks the part. Nobody has to know it doesn't work. You could even make your money back by charging friends for treatment. That's what Michael Wynn does. The fecal transplant enthusiast is one of Biocharger's most high-profile advocates, and even he admits it's a glorified placebo, about as effective as journaling. Still, he uses it, and so should you. Again, sarcasm. Electro, I bet as well, if there ends up being one of these companies taking one of these clips out of context and using it for a testimonial, it's like, as advocated for by, big dick YouTuber Karl Smallwood, I won't even be mad. Just give me my cut. Number 4, Electro-Physiological Feedback Exoroid. In 2006, an Oklahoma woman suffering from joint and leg pain wisely entrusted her health to the EpiFX quantum biofeedback device, because how science does that sound? That her husband died using it for cancer didn't matter. She believed it could nurse her back to health. The worst of her husband's illness, the side effects of chemotherapy, she rightfully blamed on the hospital. Neither does it matter that she died that very same year. EpiFX salesmen have good things to say. Even the developer themselves, cross-dressing, self-described genius William Nelson, who as a teenager helped NASA save Apollo 13, says it cures cancer and AIDS. Stinking rich from selling the things, 17,000 of them at 20 grand a piece. But he's got a Budapest mansion with servants and a movie studio. When he's not on tour giving pep talks to salesmen, he stars in his own movies about saving the world from the villainous FDA. He also has 8 doctorates, but that's all by the by. EpiFX treats the root cause of illness, not just the symptoms. It also has a display to watch healing occur in real time. Arterial cholesterol blockages, for example, appear as little white blobs that shrink and disappear during treatment. I'm sure it's all very sound and above board and scientifically backed. Similar to the Bioresonance Machine, EpiFX detects electrical imbalance, voltage, amperage, electron pressure, and so on, and immediately sets about correcting them. Exactly how isn't clear because it's all trade. Also, I keep slapping my mic. I'm sorry, I'm not used to it being here. If only there was a device to fix this. Number 3, the Zapper. Finally, a wellness device that doesn't bamboozle with high-sounding sciencey name. Invented by Hulda Clark, a doctor of zoology, the Zapper kills parasites, bacteria, and viruses without harming bodily tissue. He does this by delivering low-voltage electrical zaps through 2 supplied handheld electrodes. Not convinced? Well, you can see that you're a sharp one. Why not ride business class with the Orgon Zapper model, which not only zaps, but Orgon heals too? What's Orgon healing? Shut up. Just don't use a Zapper if you're wearing a pacemaker, or pregnant for that matter, because apparently it can't tell parasites from babies. Do with that information what you will. Even if you're not suffering from an infestation of parasites or babyitis, the Zapper may still be for you. Some users report an aura-enhancing effect from just half an hour of use. Clark himself recommends only 7-minute sessions, but we use it for as long as we like. Just stop when you start seeing burn marks. Show no fear. Sweat can be a problem. And we know what you're thinking. I could just do this myself. I can just tase my nuts with a car battery in the privacy of my own home and not pay all this money, but we should point out that Clark Zapper comes with a positive offset square wave. And you don't know what that is, do you? Well, how science does that sound? Number 2, the Ozone Generator. Hole in the ozone layer is bad. Ergo, ozone, good. Ergo, pumping your house full of ozone, even better. It's unimpeachable reasoning like this that brought the Ozone Generator into existence, improving the lives of thousands of investors and salesmen around the world. And there are always naysayers like those pansies at the Environmental Protection Agency, the busybodies at the American Lung Association, the Food and Drug Administration Agency, various so-called scientists, all of whom insist that the ozone is harmful at high concentrations indoors. And those will tell you that it takes years for ozone to eliminate toxins, and that in doing so, it releases a lot more. And the fact that the ozone is like thousands and thousands of feet into the air and is like, the entire sky. Just ignore all that now. Put it in your house. But you know what? Forget about all that and think about this. If it's harmful to us, it's harmful to parasites. And I'm just that meme thing that, the black dude is like, oh yeah, you think about it that way. So, bacteria, viruses, and other pathogens will also be affected by this, right? So there's really no surer way to banish stinking disease from your home than cramming it full of ozone. Besides, ozone is all natural. Just plug the mechanical discharge unit into the mains, and a high voltage electrical field will do the rest, transforming your smelly used oxygen into pure, clean ozone, which you can't breathe. Number 1, the HyperDimensional Resonator. This one's a little different. It's a radionic time travel device that can help with astral projection by emitting unlimited white chi energy. What's that, you ask? Shut up is the response. Invented on a farm in Nebraska in 1981, it's actually the souped-up version of an earlier prototype called the Sonic Resonator, someone rebranded. The main improvement on the previous device is a Cadicus coil electromagnet. Operation is simplicity itself. Just strap on the time coil headband, spit in the wellness well at a quartz crystal, place the electromagnet between your legs, and turn the dials to a date you wish to visit. Both, for the curious, go up to 10. Then meditate while rubbing the rubbing plate, and you should be transported astrally, unless you happen to be spitting on a grid point or vortex, in which case physically to your desired space-time coordinates. Users commonly find themselves aboard UFOs in other countries or sometimes in parallel dimensions and timelines. Some have returned with objects only to see them disintegrate in their hands in front of their very eyes. Other times it's more subtle. One user, after a seemingly unsuccessful session, woke up feeling strange, like he was in the wrong place, and his suspicions were later confirmed when he opened up his fridge and couldn't find the cookie dough he'd left there. When he called his wife at work, he was astonished to hear there wasn't any there in the first place. Another lucky user actually got to use the device with the inventor himself back in 1989. And they said, in part, when he turned it on, clouds formed in the room and sparks danced around the chandelier. They continued, at first it seemed like nothing had happened, but when she next sat down to watch her favourite movie, Shane, dialogue she'd memorised was altered or spoken by different characters. She said it scared her to death. But don't be put off, the HyperDimensional Resonator is a wellness device. Consistent use can nurture your spiritual growth. Just make sure you don't get blood in the witness well, the thing you spit in, because otherwise it will attract, according to the inventor, demons. This was amazing. So I had a lot of fun recording this video. I hope you at home had a lot of fun watching it, and again, to reiterate, I was being sarcastic in this video. All these devices, complete and utter huff. Be a list of sources below this video, no doubt, debunking the ever-loving shit out of everything we've mentioned. You know, just good diet and exercise will generally see to your, your overall physical wellness. And just get yourself a foam roller. It's just $9. I don't know how much they are, but it's good. I'm 32, I get a bad back. I pulled a muscle in it during the pandemic trying to lift more weight than I probably should have. This thing, it's just the best. It's my favourite. And if you watch videos, interviews with people who are into physical fitness, they'll sing the praise of them as well. But as mentioned at the start, this video is based on an original article by Ed Hatchett. There'll be social links below if they provided them for us. You can find mine alongside them. You can go see my other channel where it's altogether more casual vibes, professionally unprofessional, if you will. Facting with Karl Smallwood. I'm also hosting on the sister sites to TopTenz, Geographics and Biographics. I'm trying to adopt an altogether more serious tone for those, but I would like feedback on my presentation and hosting style. So if you'd like to leave a comment about that, do so below. I've tried to engage with and adopt to as much of the feedback as I've gotten so far. I stopped, I've got this fancy new microphone set up so you can't hear me putting my hands on the desk. I've tried to enunciate more clearly and speak more slowly because my accent does tend to get a bit incomprehensible when I get excited, such as when I'm talking about devices that sound like moves Akuma would use in Street Fighter 6. I'd also like to encourage everyone to subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, to have the day you all deserve. Cheers.